What happens when the game you love collides with the shadows of gambling? Tonight, we dive into a story that could shake the trust between fans, players, and the league itself. The NBA has officially opened an investigation into Malik Beasley, a player known for his shooting, but now facing questions far beyond the basketball court. Reports suggest that the league is looking into possible connections between Beasley and betting activities, specifically linked to player prop bets during the 2023 to 2024 season. Through his attorney, Beasley has already declared full cooperation. But here's the real question. Is this just another headline? Or is it a sign of something much bigger waiting to unfold? Because when money, gambling, and the integrity of the game intersect, history shows that things rarely stay quiet. And I want to ask you this right from the start. Do you think stories like this are isolated incidents, or are they just the tip of the iceberg for what's coming in the NBA? To understand why this investigation matters, we first need to break down what's at stake. When people hear betting, they often think of picking who wins or loses a game. But prop bets, short for proposition bets, are different. These bets focus on very specific player performances, how many points someone scores, how many rebounds they grab, or even whether a player hits a certain number of three-pointers. On the surface, it might seem harmless, but think about it. If a player knows people are betting on those details, or worse, if a player has any influence on those outcomes, it creates a dangerous grey area. This is why leagues take prop bets so seriously. It's not just about the money changing hands, it's about the integrity of every single play. Sports leagues in the US have been wrestling with this problem for decades. The NFL has suspended multiple players in recent years for gambling-related violations. Major League Baseball has a long, complicated history with betting scandals, going all the way back to the infamous Black Sox of 1919. Even global soccer has been rocked by match-fixing investigations. And now, as betting becomes more mainstream and accessible in America, the NBA is facing the same pressure. Which brings us back to Malik Beasley. Could this be one isolated investigation? Or is it part of a much larger battle the NBA will have to fight in the years to come? So what exactly is happening with Malik Beasley? Here are the facts that we know so far. During the 2023-24 NBA season, questions began to surface about potential connections between Beasley and betting activities, specifically player prop bets. The league took these concerns seriously enough to open a formal investigation. That step alone shows how sensitive the NBA is when it comes to gambling. Beasley, through his attorney, has already made it clear that he is fully cooperating with investigators. At this point, there are no formal charges and no public evidence that confirms wrongdoing. What we have is an open investigation and a lot of speculation. And speculation can be just as damaging as facts, especially in the modern NBA where media narratives and social media reactions spread faster than official statements. So this raises an important question. Is this investigation more about protecting the actual integrity of the game, or is it about protecting the league's image in a time when betting partnerships are a big part of the NBA's business model? When a player's name gets tied to an investigation like this, the impact goes far beyond the headlines. Imagine being Malik Beasley right now. Every game he plays, every stat he puts up, every mistake he makes is suddenly under a magnifying glass. Even if he has done absolutely nothing wrong, the perception of guilt can start to take a toll. Psychologically, this kind of pressure can be overwhelming. Athletes are trained to deal with criticism, but being accused of something that cuts at the very foundation of your integrity is a different story. Fans might begin to question whether his performance on the floor is authentic, and teammates might quietly wonder if there is more to the story. The media amplifies every angle, and social media can turn speculation into a verdict before the investigation even concludes. We often forget that NBA players are not just athletes. They are people with families, reputations, and mental health to protect. So, let me ask you this. If your career and your reputation were suddenly placed under this kind of spotlight, how would you handle it? Would you be able to focus on your job, or would the noise surrounding you slowly chip away at your confidence? Beyond Malik Beasley as an individual, there is a bigger conversation here about the relationship between sports and gambling in American culture. Over the past decade, betting has become more mainstream than ever before. States have legalized it, companies sponsor leagues, and ads run constantly during broadcasts. The NBA itself has entered partnerships with major betting companies, promoting odds and live wagers right alongside the game. Yet at the same time, players are held to an incredibly strict standard, with the threat of suspension or worse if they are found even brushing against betting rules. This creates a strange contradiction. On one hand, the league profits from the excitement that betting generates among fans. On the other hand, the same system can put players in situations where they are under intense scrutiny, even if no wrongdoing is proven. It raises an important question for fans and for the basketball community. Do you see this as the league being hypocritical, or is it simply the NBA doing what is necessary to protect the integrity of the sport? Because the answer might depend on how much trust you have in the system and how much you believe the league truly prioritizes fairness over business. So what happens next? Right now, the NBA's investigation is still ongoing, and that means the outcomes are wide open. If Malik Beasley is cleared, he will have to deal with the lasting impact of the rumors, but his name will officially be free of wrongdoing. The challenge then becomes whether fans, teammates, and media can truly move past the suspicion, or if that cloud will continue to follow him throughout his career. If, on the other hand, the investigation uncovers proof of violations, the consequences could be severe. The league has made it clear in the past that gambling violations will not be taken lightly, and a confirmed case could lead to suspensions, fines, or even the end of a career depending on the severity. Beyond Beasley, such a case would also send shockwaves through the NBA, forcing the league to tighten its rules, increase oversight, and maybe even rethink its partnerships with betting companies. This leaves us with a bigger question. Is this the beginning of a new era where gambling controversies will become a recurring theme in the NBA? Or will this case be remembered as an isolated incident that served as a warning for everyone else? At the end of the day, the Malik Beasley investigation is about more than just one player. It is about trust, perception, and the delicate balance between the NBA and the world of gambling. We have looked at what prop bets mean, how other leagues have handled similar scandals, the psychological toll on a player under investigation, and the cultural contradictions of a league that embraces betting while strictly policing its athletes. And now it is your turn to weigh in. Do you see this as a dangerous trend that could grow into something bigger? Or do you think it is just another story that will fade away once the facts come out? I want to hear your perspective, because these conversations are what shape the future of how we watch and understand the game. If you want to keep uncovering the hidden stories and the deeper layers behind the NBA, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join us here at Behind the Backboard. There is always more to the game than what you see on the court.